My Morans have been out all morning. They stay out all the time now. And mostly go in here and they find them a nice corner. Yeah, I pooper scooped and put some fresh straw down. I think they like that corner because the sun's coming through the window there. But right there is normally the main corner. They haven't been going out in the yard much. You know, I'm not going to force them. Let them do what's comfortable. And then I still have all my wooden stuff to get cleaned up. I got to clean the shed out. I was going to start weatherizing this more for the toddlers in the Chicksville shed to come in here eventually, which I'm still going to do that. But one thing about waiting is in the morning, since this is a metal roof, it was used when it was put up here. So the nail holes, when it starts, the sun starts coming out and it starts dripping. It gets soaking wet. It drips down. Luckily, there's no nail holes above the plug-in there, so it didn't drip on it. And I got out here early enough to shut the heat lamps off before that started happening. So I think what I need to do is put a piece of plastic at least over that. Just makes me nervous. So I just got to measure and get my plastic, not from side to side, but most of it, and then the water can leak out because it's not leaking down the middle of these. A lot of it's leaking where the boards, where the metal was nailed to the boards, and some of the nails missed, and there's nail holes. So I got to get that part figured out. What are you doing in there? And then, you know, so when it starts leaking, then this straw in the morning gets wet. Now, it doesn't get soaking wet. It just, you know, it's condensation. And I got this open now. So, I mean, everything's dried out in here from what it was this morning. So, it dries out pretty quick. But since we have a ton of rain coming, supposedly, I got to figure that part out. And then the only reason these girls haven't been going, I haven't put them in the coop at night to sleep, is close to bedtime, they automatically go in their kennel, of course. But they pretty much stay in here through the day. I might bring them some feed and water in here just temporarily. So, and I just got done pooper scooping for the second time. That's a never-ending chore. What, Frank? Jeez. So it's that time for everybody to pan out. I got to think of what to do to get my toddlers out of Chicksville. I did bring the Morans a little feed and water in here, and you see who got in here. And then one of the girls started picking on the Morans. Of course, Frank came in and thought he would. But now he backs down from me. He knows better. Huh. Poor babies. Why don't you go outside? You know something? Those buffs actually like you. I would hang around the buffs if I were you. Don't worry, I'm not going to let Frank get you, okay? I know, he could be a little bit mean, and you're just not old enough to know what to do yet. Huh. So I'm only 8 weeks. Which is, I mean, it's old enough for a pullet. But yeah, Frank tried coming at me one time, and I pushed him away. So now when he comes up to me, I turn around and he goes the other way. You got to teach him right away. You know better, boy. You end up being some chicken soup. Yeah, I want no mean roosters. No. Especially at the hand that feeds you. It's okay, girls. I'm keeping an eye on them. Why don't you go outside with your other ladies? Huh? I'll let you get close to them, but the minute you start with that fighting stuff, go outside. Hit the little honk honk sound. There you go, babies. There you go, babies. If you like it in the coop, that's fine with me. Yeah, learn to make the coop your home. Totally fine. I'm right out here doing some cleaning, so I'll hear you. Just scream for me if you need me, okay? My girls came back in their kennel, and I turned the little thing upside down. I think they'll like it better like that because they weren't going underneath there very much, but... So anyways, it's not perfect. And instead of doing one whole piece, because I want it to drain, I want it to dry, I just don't want it dripping over in very important parts. And then I don't have it stapled to the back so that if once it starts thawing out and it gets wet, that is going to run down there and dry out quick. So I'm going to try that. And like I said, I've tried stuff until, see if it works. It don't have to be pretty. It just needs to work. And I don't think I'm going to have an issue. I might lower that. I think I'm going to lower that heat lamp. And I don't need it on unless it gets below. So I should be good. I mean, they should be good without the heat lamp. Because it's going to be, it'll be in the 30s a couple times, but not, you know, not below freezing. Then it's going to be up in the 40s. So they should be good. I really shouldn't need that but a few more times this winter, and that's it. So I had to protect them. Frank, one of the girls, again, you know, Frank wanted to chase after one of them to hurt him, so I had to put my foot down with him. He knows to run from me. Huh, girls? Yeah, you know to run to Mama. Mama protects you, huh? That's okay. As you get older, you'll figure it out. Okay, and another reason, you know, you gotta be careful with moisture. So I didn't want this sealed up tight. And now you see the boards can breathe. You know, they can dry out good. I'm not gonna stick up there. You know, it's open all in there, up through there, so that'll dry. It's open in the back. And that's one reason why I didn't want to wrap these boards and put just one piece here. I do want it to come down, and I do want the wood to dry. So, and this is, of course, this is all open. That's all open up there. So I shouldn't have a moisture problem. And as the weather gets better, you know, eventually it's... And we're going to put this to the test because it's supposed to rain a lot real soon. So I'm going to get that light lowered just in case I would need it. But I got to rig something up to clamp it to. So I got to get a little creative again. That's Miss Bratty. That is one of my brattiest reds. And I can tell her from the others because her chest pattern feathers are just a little, you know, sometimes you just have to memorize certain things. But she's the bratty one. She's one of the bratty ones. I have a couple of them. But her I know the best. She just went in there and chased them out of their kennel. And their favorite spot is back there. Because hardly anybody hangs out back there but them. So let me get to getting some more stuff done. Okay, I think that should be good. I lowered it enough to be down here, and I found an extra chain. So the cord is zip tied on that hook, and then I put the chain around it also, just in case it might fall. It won't go past that hook, so it can never be too safe. So I think that'll work, and like I said, I won't need it for a while yet, because it's not going to be below freezing, and everybody decided to come in here. Frank, what are you doing in here, boy? You trying to get on my nerves today, huh? Yep, that time in the afternoon and earlier because Frank and the girls were bothering them. Right back in their corner. They didn't go back there last time because they hadn't pooper scooped yet. So I did pooper scoop and put down fresh straw. So that's their favorite spot. No one's bothering them. I brought water and feed in earlier, but then the big girls wanted to come in here and bother them. So I put it back out here. And then I got my branch zip tied up, and if too bad the weather ain't gonna just stay this way. I would bring the toddlers in here now, but I'm gonna get some cold weather, and this is their 5th week, so since the Morans are my testers, I'm just seeing how things go with them. And this door stays open all day now. So basically they're out they're out all day long. they're the ones that want to go in there at night. So I can understand, because the big girls want to bully them still. Okay, so I'm done with that part, and I'm going to go in and give me a bite to eat, girls. I'll try to sneak in some food and water, okay? If that's where you want to hide. They think they're going to go in there. I don't know if you can see, but that's one of the buffs that kind of protect the Moran. So she's standing over them while they're laying there. They're not doing nothing. They're not running or anything. But she's the one that kind of mommed them when they were growing up in that kennel. But she can't protect them from Frank. What? What are you doing, fluffy butt? You checking on your children, on your adopted children, huh? And buffs are just so sweet. Listen, don't poo-poo. I made a mistake, left my stool in the coop last night, and guess what? It got used as a perch. Yeah. Had to clean it up. See, they like the light, so when you turn it upside down, they didn't really go under it. So I turn it on the other way, now they all want to go in there. So I'm going to have to check everything, as long as the plastic don't fall down. I got it stapled pretty good across there. But like I said, I mean, moisture is your enemy, not the cold. But, it's open there. It's all open there. It's not like it's perfectly sealed from out there. And this is all open. So, it does get airflow through here. I just don't want to put anything else up there. And like I said, it's open. I didn't staple it all down that end. That's all open. Because I want the air and stuff to get in there, dry the wood and stuff out. So, I'm hoping this will work. You just barely fit in there, girl. So everybody's panning out. It's a nice day. I don't even have a jacket on. Get off my ladder. So I think I'm going to go in and get some house chores done while everyone's behaving and panning out. They found their own spot. And it's such a nice day out today. I don't know why they're all not out there. Finding them a comfy spot. Huh. Okay, I'm going to leave everybody. The Marians are still doing good, I think. Why don't you go outside? Start, yeah, start exploring. Other than in that corner. You need to go outside. Yeah, you do. Your feed and water's out here. I decided to bring it out here. I don't want you to think you're going to get fed and watered in here all the time. Because that's what causes the big girls and Frank to come in here. Why don't you go outside? You want to go outside? Well, I bet you do now. Why do you gotta do that? See? I mean, that's just, that part's nothing. Look how small she is. That's Miss Pratt. I think they're the same size as her pretty much, but it's just a smaller ones are more of a brat. Go outside. Come on. Watch her. See, all the ones you raised together, hang together. Go on back in your kennel if you don't want to go outside. They're just teaching you that, they're the boss. You're not going to start now, are you? This is usually my more calmer one, but There you go, look. Play around in there. Turn their heat lamp off. You do not need it today. It is nice out. Yes, it is. If you girls were just a little bit more feathered and bigger, you'd be out in the kennel and the chicken run. Yes, you would be. You just got to make it a, you know, probably a couple more months or so, and then you can find your new homes. Yeah. Then you go find your new homes. Still not sure. I'm still thinking that white bird's some kind of leghorn or something, or I hope it's not a meat bird. And then the two oddball ones that are not barred rocks, but they are pretty. I just can't quite tell what they are until they get a little bigger. I know it's getting crowded in there, but you got quit crowding up over there. I gotta try and think of something. Yes, I do. And the kennel I built out in the chicken run, I basically want to do that on this back wall here, so that I have this whole space here as a kennel. So that's going to be my personal next project, and I'll probably bring it out to this board here, so I have a place to put my wood and stuff like that. I got to get rid of all this stuff and buy a lot more chicken wire. Yeah, because this will, between here and the outside chicken yard kennel or wherever I can put them, is where I'm going to be rehoming them from. But, you know, it's just as they're growing, they just need a bigger place to stay, you know. And then I can move this brooder over to the sidewall or something. And so by the time they get big enough for the big kennel, then, you know, I'll have a batch that'll be ready to rehome and sell. So it's just figuring out that rotation and infrastructure to keep them at different ages. Because right now that is a little bit small for them. So I'm seriously thinking of something else. And I'm going to be working on it. Okay, girls? Yeah, I know. You just need to get outside. See, that's the one I'm not sure. That's one that they swapped on me. I just don't know what kind of bird that is. That is not a barred rock, but she is pretty. I got two of those, and that white one. My toddlers are taking an early evening nap, all crowded up there with each other. You're not even on your perches. I did hose them off, and it's hot out today, actually. I don't even have a jacket on. Yeah. And we have some over here. Pretty birds. Pretty birds. Yeah. But anyways, I got the stand moved over here. I got to clean this mess up. Some of the stuff's getting tossed. Some of it I just have to organize. So what I'm going to do is duplicate the kennel I built inside the chicken run out here. I mean, my goal eventually by next year, I would like to have this shed all the way, not sealed in, but, you know, a little bit more weather tight than what it is. Now, the air conditioner does work. I'm going to leave it there because in the summertime in this shed, once I get it sealed up a little bit more, you know, it's going to get really hot in here. But I'll have a fan in here. I've got the windows. And if I need to, I could put the air on. And yes, that will be inside their kennel. But the birds will be sold. They're not going to get up on there that high. So they'll get sold before they become, you know, before they even start laying eggs. So what I'm going to do is just come out, you know, the 1, 2, 3 up to this one to match that one because of the window and stuff. So I think for me, I think the like styrofoam is going to be the easiest for me to put in here, because I could cut it a lot easier. So I'm just gonna do this part here, and this whole back side is gonna be a kennel. The brooder's gonna be put over here for the chicks, and then as they get bigger, they can go in here, and this what's gonna be a kennel, and this is where they're gonna be sold from. So I'm gonna sell them about 4 months old, right before, a month or so before they start laying eggs. And so I'm gonna start there and then get some like cheap paneling or plywood or something. Stuff's expensive nowadays, so I'm gonna go cheap. So it doesn't have to be sealed up completely, but it also helped to keep it be able to keep it a little bit warmer in here in the winter time. That's my goal, is to be able to keep this going through the winter. So this is actually my first winter with so many different ages. And so I'm learning as I go, and my birds are telling me what I need to do. So listen to them and watch them, and they will tell you exactly what they need. When I get that done, and then the front part is just like I did out there in the kennels, just put some boards up, make me another screen door like I did, and then put some chicken wire and some wire cloth across the bottom. I am going to put linoleum across the floor, just inside the kennel only, which will also help with cold air coming up through the floors or the cracks of the floors. So if I get that done, and then I also need to get something put up here to seal this here. And then also there was wasp nests up in here. Of course, I killed everything, sprayed up there, and some of the spray dripped down back behind there. So that's why I need to close that off, because right behind that board, it just goes straight up. So that's why I need to get this closed off. I don't want anything coming down in the chicks in the summertime if I need to spray up there again. So I need to I think what I'm going to do is just get a piece of plywood and lay across there, so in the summertime I could just shove it off and look up there, and if there's any new nests, I can get them sprayed. I buy that spray that reaches 50 feet. It works. So that's my goal. So I think what I'm going to do is just start slow, start with the installation, and just kind of go from there, and just kind of piece things together as I can afford it. But if I need to, like I said, eventually I just want to get this whole shed a little bit more sealed in for the winter. And I still don't have my window finished, so it is what it is. And then also, I was going to put this brooder on the other side of the room for now, but my solar lines won't reach. So that's something else. When I get my solar for in the kennel, my solar's for in there, then I'll need to make sure they've got long enough cords. Now this one hanging, it's got a long enough cord to, I can even move it over here, but that's a night light. That only comes on at night. And I don't know how to switch it over to where it stays on until I turn it off. I gotta figure this techie stuff, electronic stuff out. So I got my messy table sitting here in the middle of the floor because I was sweeping and cleaning. But that's where I'm at right now. They're in their 5th week, so they should be finishing. They pretty much are finishing feathering out. And they will eventually go in the chicken run kennel. The Morans are getting used to staying out all the time. I just need to get them to start going in the coop at night. But because they're so young and getting picked on by the girls all the time, they don't want to go in there. Not at night. And I still have a couple more weeks left with them. And then I'm going to have to move them or sell them early, which I don't really want to, because that's not going to help me any. I really need to try to hang on to them till a month before they start laying eggs, because that's when you make more money on them. Huh. They got feed, they got water, and there may be 1 or 2 that might stay behind. I haven't decided yet. So anyways, that's where I'm at. I'm going to leave them go. It's nice out. It's hot out today. But it is supposed to get to raining and storming tomorrow or Friday or something. I forget. But in Georgia, it doesn't get as bad as, way up north. And the chickens are out playing around, not bothering the Morans. And the Moran still has not made it out into the yard with them yet. So, all right, girls, behave. I'm going to go sit down for a little bit. I got to get to figuring all this material and stuff.